Cool. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Truth Podcast. My name is Nick Robinson. I'm the host of this show. And today I wanted to get on a new guest. He's a friend of mine's brother, actually. He's a good friend of mine, too. But he is an insurance advisor here in the Des Moines area. It is Mr. Blake Newton. Blake, how are you today, brother? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good,
how
man.
are you?
Good, man. Just living the dream, trying to
we all
stay
are.
alive, bro. Stay alive and all that, too, you know?
Of course.
Blake, before we, dive into the podcast officially and everything, tell me, who is Blake Newton today? How old are you? Kind of give the people that don't know you just a little bit about yourself real quick, brother.
Yeah, sure. So, to be doing my job, I am on the younger side, so I'm not going to say my age. I'm almost 30.
Yep.
We'll just say that.
Absolutely.
But right now, I'm an insurance sales consultant or an insurance advisor. You can use both for Country Financial. And really what I help do is I give people the golden opportunity to address all their finances, their financial future for their family, and just really give them that peace of mind with someone that they could trust.
Absolutely.
I think everybody deserves that, and it's the absolute least I could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll kind of dive into absolutely everything too, about the whole advising and everything. But I do want to start off with what was your experience like growing up? Where was that at? And kind of give the people your backstory a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in Des Moines my entire life, South Side, born and raised.
Southside?
Yes, sir. And as soon as I graduated Lincoln High School, so shout out to all my rail splitters out there.
Out to the rail splitters.
Yep. After that, I decided to go to University of Iowa, and I was there for about a little over 4 years, and I got my degree in sociology.
Nice.
So I could have been a barista at Starbucks, or I could have been in insurance.
Exactly.
So I had to pick the one that was going to pay off my student loans, of course.
Exactly.
So I was like, insurance might be a little bit better for that. So as soon as I graduated from the University of Iowa, I went to work at Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, where I was in the customer service department for about a year and a half. And it was fantastic. And it was a very humbling experience. Wonderful company, some of the best coworkers I can ask for. But there's certain times where you feel like you're kind of plateauing or you're hitting a glass ceiling is probably a good word to say it.
Absolutely.
And I just wasn't really looking forward to the day as much as I should. And I wasn't quite as happy there. So I've been wanting to get into something more sales oriented for the longest. So I was like, okay, why not just go into insurance sales, but maybe not full on insurance sales, maybe like an advising account management role. So that's exactly what I did. I went to Arthur J. Gallagher. It's a massive insurance brokerage out in West Des Moines. And I was an account manager and employee benefits there. So I was really just servicing existing clients. I wasn't going out and getting clients. I wasn't going out and making presentations. Just sitting at my desk and making a whole lot of spreadsheets and answering a whole lot of calls. It was equivalent to my experience at Wellmark. Again, wonderful company, some of the best, most brilliant minds of insurance I've ever been around. So that definitely was a great learning experience. And I think when you're first starting out, what you want to do is have these jobs where they might lead to something, they might not.
Exactly.
But it's really about finding out what you want to do and what makes you happy. So I talked all this big game about sales my entire career since I graduated in Iowa, and I'm like, why not just go into direct insurance sales?
Exactly.
And then Country Financial is one of the strongest, most stable companies that you're going to find. So
yeah, well, and I think that you raise an interesting point too of having that self-fulfillment of going to work every day is a huge thing. And I think that especially in America, there's a lot of people that aren't happy with what they're doing every single day, with their job and everything. So I think that it's good that you've kind of found your own little thing, and now you're kind of taking it and running with it. You haven't been at Country Financial for too long yet, have you? It's been a couple months, right?
Yeah, it's been a couple months, but I've been in insurance my entire career, I still got that foundation, and I got the confidence to back up what I'm pushing.
Exactly.
But no, you made a great point about people not being happy, because everybody deserves that happiness. And like I said, I think I've posted this on Facebook. I know what it's like to wake up, to have a tedious day, and it's the same thing. And so to be in something where you're happy and you're building something every day is the most gratifying thing that you could possibly do.
Absolutely.
Plus, people are so scared of judgment and what people are going to say. But the thing is, anything that's ever been difficult to have or was difficult to obtain, of course it's going to be hard to get. Everyone's going to judge you because when you're going out doing something that makes you happy, especially when it's in sales, because a lot of people have a negative preconceived notion of people in sales.
Exactly.
So I'm here to bust down those barriers and prove them wrong.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's always good to kind of show people, like, especially in sales, it's like when you're giving like a face or like a human interaction to somebody, I think that that's like a super key thing, instead of like just sounding like a robot trying to read them a script of like you should be doing this with your finances and everything. Like, you're literally just trying to help people, and I think that like that's one of the best things that you could do, is just like be almost like a friend to somebody, but at the end of the day, it is kind of like a business, and you are trying to sell them stuff too.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And I'm very, very straightforward with any business partners or people that But the paradoxical thing, that's a word, right? Paradoxical.
It is now. It is.
Yeah. The paradox to that is that even though they are clients of mine, the vast majority become dear friends and partners.
Exactly.
It's not. It's way beyond insurance, man.
Exactly.
I mean,
you're looking out for somebody's life.
Yeah.
Too. Like,
I come to their kids' birthday parties, man.
Yeah.
I send them birthday cards every single year. I bring cookies to their office. Yeah. Or if it's one of my partners, I'll bring donuts to their office.
Exactly.
I'll have events where I sponsor and I pay for things. So it's way deeper than insurance. And I think that's what sets me apart from most people, is that I do have that personalized touch.
Exactly. I think that that's super key, just to have, especially like in the insurance business and everything else, because you want your customers or your clients to like just feel safe with you, not only on like just your finances, but with their lives and with their kids' lives and whatever else the case is. So it's a super dope thing.
You're absolutely right. And I'm there for people on the worst day of their lives. So of course I have to be that voice of reason, and I have to be that emotional support for them in case they actually do lose somebody, because they may not have the resources or the family to help pick everything up. So that's what me and my company are here for. It's like it's the absolute least I could do.
Absolutely. Blake, tell me about what was your college experience like? You said that you studied sociology, correct?
Sociology, that is correct.
What was that like for you? What was that experience like going through school?
Yeah, so I started off college wanting to be a doctor, which I think is most people who go to Iowa want to be a doctor or an engineer or something that has a lot of prestige next to it. But I quickly found out that math and science were not exactly my forte.
Yeah.
I think that God knew I'd be too powerful if I could do math.
Exactly, Exactly, man.
Yeah, I knew just enough to be dangerous, but there's no way in heck I was going to get good enough grades to get into med school or anything like that.
That is just insane, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So once you hit that pinnacle of what you wanted to do, and now you got to kind of backtrack, then you find out, you take classes that might interest you or, spark something in you that you didn't know you had.
Exactly.
And sociology was that for me. I mean, the study of human interaction is one of the most fascinating concepts that you could possibly learn or explain to people.
Yeah. When did that switch for you? Was it freshman year, sophomore year? Or
It was middle of sophomore year.
Yes. Gotcha.
Because I was still trying to get on that. It was actually dentistry was my main goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I was really trying to get after it, but I was just it's really tough to balance social life and your academic life, especially when you're there for academics. So that should come first and foremost. But people's logic can get skewed along the way, and there's a lot of influence around. So it was tough to combat that, but I came out clean, luckily.
Exactly, man. And I think that college is like that. It's like those last couple of years of you having some freedom before you have to go into the work world.
Yeah.
And then it's the constant 9 to 5 and everything. So it's kind of hard not to slack off sometimes. But as long as you can keep a good head on your shoulders for most and the majority of the time that you're there, then everything's good. But
yeah, exactly. I mean, the University of Iowa, like number 2 party school, and trust me, they won't let you forget. Exactly. They'll remind you every day. So yeah, it's tough not to be influenced by outside factors, but if you could just stay strong to your belief system like I did, you can still have fun and still thrive academically, even if it's not in the field that you anticipated.
Yeah. How do you feel like your experiences that you had through school have kind of persuaded you to get into like insurance advising and all of that, and like do you feel like you use some of those skills that you learned in your sociology classes and everything like that?
Oh yeah, 2000%. Absolutely. When you're in college, you're exposed to so many different demographics of people, varying from age and ethnicities, and you just know how to talk to everybody, and you have to be friendly if you're going to be in college. You're going to go to these different social events and introducing yourself. So, I've had a lot of practice with that, especially in college, and it really laid the foundation for sales.
Absolutely.
And insurance and the word sales, inherently they do go together, but in other people's minds, they don't sound very well together,
Exactly.
But just being in sales and being able to sell a product that actually makes a difference in people's lives. I'm not selling toasters or knives or stuff like that. This is something that's going to protect your future.
Exactly.
I mean, this product can mean everything down the line. Hopefully, it never has to come to that point. But if it does,
you're there.
I'll always be there.
You're there.
Absolutely.
Exactly. What do you feel like, so like, things like how the internet has kind of changed a lot of stuff. Do you kind of worry about stuff like all these insurance policies and everything that you're selling? Do you ever worry about like things like AI or like the computer stuff like taking over your industry? I feel like that could be like a serious thing, like especially like 20 years down the line, like but I feel like that human interaction is always going to kind of be there. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
No, you're absolutely right. Unless Ultron, the villain from the Avengers, unless there's something of that level that gets put into the workplace, that's the only time I'll be worried, and that's going to be maybe 100 years from now. So I'm not worried anytime soon. Plus, you're absolutely right. There's no machine on Earth, even Alexa from Amazon, that can replicate the human experience.
Exactly.
I mean, and there's just too many nuances in human behavior that the simple voice on a computer will never ever pick up.
Exactly. It does kind of like worry about me for like a lot of the jobs out there now, like I work at UPS, so like obviously like maybe in like 20 years or something like that, there could be just machines doing all of this work. Like a lot of the people that work in factories, a lot of the people that do a lot of those manual labor jobs, I feel like that definitely is like something that a lot of people do kind of have to worry about. So it's kind of interesting to kind of hear your thoughts on like the insurance industry, and I kind of agree with you too. Like there's nothing that's going to beat the human interaction, at least I feel like in our lifetime. So maybe in our kids' generation it might be a different thing, but
I'll say hopefully I do well enough so they don't even have to work.
Exactly, man. That's the goal. That's the goal too.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right too when you say it's going to replace a lot of manufacturing jobs, and it's a shame, but I do understand where the business owner is coming from, because I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of those business owners do care about profit margins and stuff, and you can just widen those like crazy if you just take out the middleman, which is unfortunately happens to be the hardworking humans for that company. So it's a shame, but it means you'll adapt and you'll expand your skill base and try other things. So.
Exactly. Well, and I think that like that's one of the biggest things about like going to school or like doing a trade or something along those lines is like having that skill set in case if something like that does happen, then you have like a backup plan and everything like that. Especially like somebody like you with like a sociology degree, you don't really got to worry about anything. Like if insurance doesn't work out, then you can go off and do something else with your sociology degree too. It's a pretty broad degree that you could use in a bunch of different fields. So.
Extremely broad. It's as broad as like marketing or communications degree. I mean, you could do virtually anything. Yeah. So that's another reason why I was drawn to it initially.
Absolutely. Blake, tell me about like what is your role as an insurance advisor? Obviously, we've kind of been talking about it, and it's kind of in the name. You're advising people on their insurance, but it is also deeper than that too. Kind of give me like the backstory of what that is for you.
Yeah, of course. So at Country, I personally specialize in residential homeowners. So you, your girlfriend or wife, you buy a house, I can insure that and give you some great rates, plus give you some great coverages that some other companies don't offer. So we do have that sets us apart. Plus myself, I also do commercial properties. So this library that we're in now, plus what I really specialize is apartment complexes and condominiums.
Okay.
And those are my real bread and butter because I can help with all the tenants, I can help with the renter's insurance, and then auto insurance is something that I do as well. And everybody wants all their plans under the same roof, so I'm able to do that because we have some of the most incredible discounts when you do lump all the different coverages together. Plus, I do life insurance as well.
That's awesome.
And life insurance does come in handy when you buy a house because in case, God forbid, something happens to one of the spouses, that mortgage payment, it's going to become pretty steep. So that's why you have that life insurance to ensure that you can keep your same standard of living and the same lifestyle. And one of the barriers that people have to life insurance, especially when they're younger, they don't really see the need, but it's never going to be cheaper as young as you are. So the older you get, it's just going to become more expensive. You're going to have to go through more hoops and medical tests, and it just makes it a lot more difficult. Plus, another thing that I tell people is that, you don't buy life insurance for yourself. Take yourself out of the equation. It's for your family. You might pass away, but your family, your kids, they're still going to be here. They're going to still be here to bear the brunt of what you left behind. So at least give them that chance to at least have some hope and some financial stability.
Because I think that something like death or losing somebody is like a huge loss, like in and of itself, like emotionally and physically and everything along those lines.
It's heartbreaking.
But adding the financial burden on top of that too is something that's just absolutely absurd because there's a lot of people that require the two spouse household to bring in all the income and everything and make the house payment work and everything like that. So it is something that you don't really think about until it happens. So
and it's too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing, but you do raise an interesting point too of people my age, it's not we're really worried about that stuff right now because we don't really have a house, but
exactly.
It is something that you should kind of take into consideration too, is because like you said, things are a lot less expensive right now, and if you can afford it, if you got a good paying job already as a 25-year-old into that age range, then I think that's something that you should definitely take into consideration because then you're already kind of getting the ball rolling, and then you'll get everything kind of situated as you kind of grow into more of an adult and have more responsibilities, I guess. So.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not an excuse, it's a very valid excuse, but I understand it completely, is people who say they don't have the money for a life insurance policy or to pay a little bit of extra on their auto. What I find is that most people are severely underinsured, and I try to make that, convey that point to them because you're going to be so angry when a claim comes with your current carrier and you only get checked for $1,000 when there's $10,000-$15,000 worth of damage, and you're going to be so angry, and it might ruin the rest of your year. So what I do is I help make those more visible to them and let them know what they could have, let them know what discounts that Country offers that no other company offers.
Absolutely.
Even if it comes at the cost of a little bit higher premium. I mean, the cost of one claim could be $5,000. If we pay that $5,000 for you, does it matter another $5 a month on the premium?
Exactly. Exactly.
And plus, I've never, ever, ever recommended anything that wasn't appropriate to a client.
Exactly.
So there's no point of upselling, because I know if somebody were to try to upsell me on stuff that I don't necessarily need, that's a game breaker.
Yeah,
and that's one thing I told myself I would never, ever do, because it's just weird to do that to people,
Well, and it's you're almost taking advantage of them and stuff along those lines,
sick.
I think that it's good that, you have that good head on your shoulders when it comes to sales too, because nobody does a salesman that's going to throw this down somebody's throat and everything if they don't absolutely need it,
so, unless it's absolutely necessary and appropriate. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, so. And then it's good, like, to, you know, get to know them as a person, like we've been talking earlier, and then, like, you're able to kind of get a feel for, like, what their lifestyle is like, and then you can make, like, the appropriate recommendations for them and everything. Like, if they aren't really looking into, like, car insurance, then it's just like, hey, like, I know you just got this new car, and I can get you, like, a quote on this, and we can see if this is something that we can work with, and then you can kind of just go from there and everything, too. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. And I do take a holistic approach to a client's needs. I mean, you got to take care of everything. You can't just say, oh, we're going to do your auto, and I'm never going to talk to you again. Deuces. You know, that's the complete opposite of what I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I said, back to my point real quick about people not having the money.
Absolutely.
I mean, I can cater a plan to anyone's budget. So money isn't really the best excuse, because even if you can only afford $20 for life insurance, I'm going to get you a policy that's appropriate within that budget range.
Absolutely.
Like I said, no matter what the budget is, we're going to make it happen.
Exactly.
It's just simple financial planning.
Exactly. Kind of getting into some of the other questions I have here for you, Blake. What is, like, the thing that you find most rewarding about your job right now? What do you feel like that is?
So I think it's really giving people the peace of mind, and especially on life insurance policies, because I've wrote a couple, and one of the people actually did pass away, and it was one of the most heart-wrenching things. And it's awful, because you don't see, like, people just think life insurance, oh, the person passes away, you give the family a check, but that check means everything.
Exactly.
And you don't see the power of life insurance until someone that you're working with suddenly passes away.
Yeah.
And to be able to be that backbone for that family at the time when they need it the most, that means everything.
Yeah.
Plus, just people knowing that they have a company. I mean, Country Financial does have the J.D. Power Award for second highest in customer satisfaction.
That's awesome.
So our customer service team will take care of you no matter what. And our claims process is super simple. You don't have to worry about talking to a robot.
Absolutely.
Worry not getting things paid correctly. I mean, we pride ourselves on that.
Yeah.
Plus, you got me to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that, like, you raise an interesting point with that robot stuff too. I feel like that's, like, something that's, like, so prevalent in today's world. Like, whenever I call, like, a huge corporation, like, say somebody like Apple, right, to, like, get your phone looked at, you sit there for, like, 20 minutes just talking to a robot, and, like, somebody that's not an actual person, and it's like, jeez. And then, like, they hear stuff in the background, and it's like, it says, like, say 5 to do this or whatever, and then it's like, it just takes it and runs with it, and it's like, you'd wish that you could just talk to an actual person. So, like, with, like, an insurance company like that, that's super huge to, like, have that personalization. Like, you can have somebody, like, always be able to reach out to you in the case if they need somebody that, like, they're trying to look into different plans or whatever, your phone line is always open towards them. So I think that that's something that's super key to have in today's world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Having that personalized human touch is everything, and it's our pleasure to make the process as seamless and simple as possible. So that's what I pride myself on, in being as transparent as possible.
Absolutely. Blake, what kind of got you into insurance? Like, obviously, like you were talking about, you wanted to be a doctor at one point, and then you wanted to be a dentist, and then you talked about, you could have been a barista, or you could have been going into insurance. What kind of, like, got you into insurance? What kind of solidified that for you?
It was really just having the potential to go into sales of insurance. Like I say, because pushing a product that I don't believe in, you'll never be successful and you'll burn out real quickly. But actually being able to push a product that I believe in, that I carry myself, and that my friends, family, and clients that I don't know as well, to have everyone around me carrying it is huge. And at least I know that I'm providing that support and that reassurance for them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a key thing too, just being there for somebody when they most need it is a huge thing.
Exactly.
It's a huge thing.
And people shouldn't have to worry about insurance or worrying about how much it costs and stuff. I mean, they should just know that it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of people don't want interactions with their insurance agent, but I find that if you can at least just be their friend and build that relationship, and foster it like it was one of your good friends, that's everything.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Keeps the world going around and everything like that.
It literally does. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Blake, what is something that you're interested in, like, outside of work? Is there anything that kind of comes to mind when you think of that, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. Basketball is my go-to. Yeah. So anybody that wants to play or wants to talk to me about joining the leagues that I'm in, I mean, if you think you got game, please come see me.
Bring it.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Blake's going to break your ankles, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to break them.
I'm not going to drain threes. I'm not much of a shooter.
Hey, but you can drive to the basket.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it rolling.
Yeah.
That's what's up. How long have you been playing basketball for? Since you were a kid?
Yeah, since I was a kid. I played my freshman year in college. But, not college, but high school. And then after that, I just played pickup ball. And I've been playing once or twice every week for the past, 8-9 years.
No joke.
So I mean, it's my only way of staying in shape too.
Exactly. It's a good way to stay in shape, and then that competitiveness with a bunch of random guys at the gym or whatever is super dope too. Or having your friends play with you or whatever the case is. It's super fun to always have that competitiveness, especially being a guy. I don't know what it is, having that competitive edge as a guy is something that's almost needed, I feel like.
I mean, I personally carry my competitiveness in sales. I carry that right to the basketball court.
Yeah, exactly.
So I try to be the best I can be, and it's something that helps me stay sharp and stay motivated for sure.
And I think that sports and organized sports is something that's instilled in a lot of people at a very young age, and we don't really realize it until we get out into the real world. I still use a lot of the structure that I learned in sports and the discipline and everything in my actual life. So I think that there's a lot of things that you do learn in organized sports that you're able to take out into the real world, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah, there's a massive list of characteristics that sports and no other type of activity teaches you that you could carry into your real life. Yeah, it's incredible.
Absolutely. Blake, getting into some of the other questions that I have here for you, brother.
Sure.
What is the greatest accomplishment that you've done so far? This could be in life, this could be in insurance. What do you feel like that is for you?
Well, in insurance, I would say, I'm in the middle. I don't want to say too many details, but I have some really, really big condominium apartment complexes that I'm just hammering out the logistics of right now. But that's going to be a massive deal for me.
Absolutely.
And I'm really, really looking forward to that. Plus, business has been going absolutely fantastic so far.
That's awesome.
And I'm always open to taking in new clients. If you have any questions or concerns, or you just
hit
want
them up, ladies and gentlemen. Blake is going to steer you into the right direction.
Yeah, even just a free second opinion. I mean, a second set of eyes on what you currently have could do absolute wonders.
Dude, and it's who's going to turn that down? It's not you're charging a bunch of money for it, It's you're just giving a second opinion, and then
you literally have nothing to lose, and you have everything to gain.
Absolutely.
So, I think people definitely see the value of that, and I think that philosophy really resonates with them.
Absolutely. It's a huge thing too, just making sure that you're covering everybody's butt, because you want to look out for everybody in the world, not just yourself all the time.
Oh, dude, I want everybody. I want all the business owners. I want all the complex or realty company owners. I mean, all the real estate. I want everybody. I think I could take care of everybody.
Absolutely. And I think that's key, man. It's just
absolutely
just getting out there and giving your services to the world is a huge thing that you can do in this world too.
I'm going to be the go-to guy, so
that's the key.
Absolutely.
Yep. Blake, tell me, who or what is your inspiration to do what you do?
My inspiration, I would say my parents have always instilled thoughts in me from a young age to treat everyone the way you want to be treated. And there's always trials and tribulations that come along with maturing into a person, but I really feel like in the last 3, 4, or 5 years I've really hit my strides, and I've become a lot better person, and just a lot easier going, and just being a lot more humble and grateful for what I have, and reminding myself every day that there's plenty of people around me and in my family and clients that I talk to and potential people, just giving everybody the respect that they deserve and trying to help out as much as I can. Because you're not going to be remembered for what you have. You're going to be remembered by what you do for other people.
Exactly.
And, having that instilled in me from a young age, that has been instrumental in my success so far.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that, you rise an interesting point, too, of, like, almost leaving, like, a legacy for people to remember you by, like, obviously,
absolutely.
Like, nobody's going to remember you by the fancy car that you drive or, like, the fancy house that you have. Like, people are going to remember you by you being Blake and you being the person that you want to, have, like, this good image into everybody's mind when you do pass on and everything like that, too. And I think that, in the regards to, like, the family thing as well, like, having that backbone for yourself, I think is huge, too, because then, you're being this backbone for everybody else. So I think that it's good that you have this backbone for yourself, too, because, like, it's not like you're really talking to your financial advisor, your insurance advisor all the time, but, it's like you're being that for somebody else. So, it's good that you have somebody that you're able to talk to as well with your family and everybody that's in your family, like your mom, dad, all that stuff. I think that's super huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, surrounding yourself with the right people is paramount to anyone's success. Because all my friends know that I do not like hearing them complain unless it's something that's valid and is timely. That's fine. But if you're constantly complaining, nobody wants that negative energy around them. I hate that, and I'm sure everyone else hates that.
Exactly.
So if you could just surround yourself with people who don't complain, people who do hustle and embrace the grind. And the people who embrace the grind, besides people in insurance, are real estate agents. I mean, those people are relentless. But it's critical to success, man. So I'm there to support them any way I can and offer any guidance or solutions that hopefully my company can offer.
Well, and I heard this quote once too of like, it's like, if you're the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong room or something like that. Because it's like, you have to be able to learn things from other people. Like having other people give you perspective, I think is a huge thing. Instead of you being like the smartest man in the room, like it's always like, damn, like there's nothing for me to learn here, so what am I really doing here with my time and everything? But like if you're in a room with people like Bill Gates or like Steve Jobs and like people of that nature, it's like you have everything to learn in a room like that, so versus like being in a room with like nothing against like your high school buddies or anything like that, but it's like if they don't have it going on or going for themselves, then it's like what are you doing there with your time? I think that it's always good to have that, but also like if you're trying to advance in your life too, I think that it's good that you can kind of pick and choose when you're spending your time with like your close friends and whatnot, but also making that time to like also learn to like advance your mind and like broaden yourself as a person.
No, you make a brilliant point. I mean, to be frank, the way I put it is, to progress is to live, and to regress is to die. So was that too much?
No, that's a heavy quote.
Was that radar?
No, you're good. You're good. That was a good quote, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that I've instilled in myself, and I use it, to guide and monitor what I do today, and how I approach situations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, you should always just constantly try to get better. I mean, there's no point of going backwards or staying stagnant because nobody has to stay stagnant. You don't have to sit there and complain. You can do something about any situation. I mean, does it really matter what your friends or your family think? I mean, of course you think it does, but trust me, it doesn't. I mean, do what makes you happy, and you gotta go out and get it.
Exactly.
I mean, if you don't ask for it, the answer's always gonna be no.
Exactly. Well, and then it's like a lot of people like worry about, what could happen, but like if you don't take that step, then nothing is going to happen. Then you gotta kind of be open to the roller coaster in a sense, like it could go this way, but it also could go a really good way too. Like you're never gonna get anywhere if you don't try.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's times where I get super discouraged and I get super pissed off and angry, and I'm just like, damn, man, I don't even want to get out of bed today. Like, I don't want to deal with people, but then here's the thing I do is I do not want regret in any fashion, of any capacity, in any manner whatsoever.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to talk to this business owner. I mean, if he tells me to kick rocks, whoop-de-doo. I mean, there's nobody's rejection that could possibly get under my skin anymore.
Exactly.
You know, I've been through it all, so, you know.
Well, and I think that sales is like that one thing where it's like, you know, you got to learn to handle rejection. And I think that does teach you a lot of good life skills as well. And
people crumble and break under the fear of pressure and the fear of rejection all the time.
Yeah.
And I just want to let people know that you don't have to be scared anymore.
Exactly.
I mean, once you see people close to you, like all my friends and people I went to school with and stuff, if you see what I'm doing and you see that I'm not scared to show who I am, you know, you should have that same confidence and that same confidence.
Absolutely. Have that confidence in yourself, man.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
You know, be confident in who you are as a person and what you can provide to the world. I think is a huge thing.
Yeah, even if it's small, I mean, you got something to offer.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, you know, making origami for people or something.
Exactly, dude. Like,
I mean, somebody's gonna enjoy it.
Exactly.
And if they don't, you enjoy it. That's all that matters.
Exactly. You know, be passionate on what you're doing. Like, if you're mopping floors, bro, if you're passionate about that,
do your thing.
Do it.
But if you cry and moan and complain every day, only you have the power to change that. Exactly. You can't expect nobody else to change your situation.
Exactly.
And it just starts with taking action. You just got to do something about it. You know, put yourself out there. And the what I found is that, you know, people are going to talk ish and, you know, talk down on you and be like, oh, what's he doing? But once people accept what you're doing, and then they're like, oh, well, Blake is the go-to insurance guy. I mean, you know, before I didn't think he was serious about it, but now I see that he's been making strides and, you know, he's active and he's talking to people and he's making these waves. I mean, why not give him a chance?
Yeah, exactly.
But then it's like, but weren't you talking bad about me before? But then they come around to it every single time.
Yeah. Once I feel like you have that foundation of you know, stability in like your business or like your endeavor of whatever the case it is, then people do start to see it and they're like, oh, he's actually doing this.
Yeah,
and that,
exactly.
It kind of sucks, but it's like, huh. You'd wish that like everybody would kind of believe in you at the first.
Everybody
instance,
wishes that, yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you got to be in it for yourself, and then, you know, if people come and see what you're doing along the lines, then that's a good thing. But you know, it's not always gonna happen.
Exactly. Every entrepreneur who has ever lived in the existence of human civilization has gone through this. Nobody has ever started off on fire where everybody loves them. Any salesperson or someone who's starting their own company or in business for themselves knows this. I mean, you just got to get past that stage, that's all. And that's the hardest part for people.
Absolutely.
But they don't have to be scared anymore. I mean, they're seeing me doing it, so you can do it. If I could do it, you sure as heck can do it.
That's what I say to people too, man. It's like, if I can do it, you can do it, man. It's not that hard, you know? Just go out there and chase your dreams, bro. Blake, tell me about some of the future plans that you have. Obviously, talking a lot about insurance and everything, but is there any other future plans that you have?
Yes, I do got a couple big trips booked for next year.
Nice.
And
where you headed?
Italy, actually.
Nice,
yeah, that's the goal. And then
we're
we're
with family or just like your girlfriend or what?
Family and my girlfriend. Yes.
Nice.
And you know, me and Adrienne, she's my girlfriend.
Yeah,
we will have been together for like 3 years here in November. So here in a couple months or so.
Nice.
And it's getting to that time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have no spoilers, but it's about getting to that time.
You can infer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got a lot of big things planned.
That's
so.
awesome. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Good for you, brother.
Very much looking forward to it.
Glad to hear that. Blake, a couple of closing questions that I have that I ask everybody that hops on the podcast with me. They're a little deeper questions, but we'll dive into them and see what your reaction is to them. So, what is one thing that you have to do in life? So, like, when it's all said and done, sitting on your deathbed, what is that one thing that you have to say that you've been able to do?
Definitely know that I gave every ounce of blood, sweat, tears, and just everything I've ever had built up into me just let that all out. I don't want any pent up frustration, anger, or regrets. I want to know that I left everything on the field when my time comes.
Yep,
and like I said, that's what pushes me today. So I want to know, did I do everything I could do today to make sure that my business is going to be successful? That I go into these car dealerships or these massive companies and try to pitch them on something. I mean, like I said, regret's the biggest motivator at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I think that, like, a lot of people, they don't really think about that stuff until the time does draw close to being an end or whatever the case is, you know. And I think that if you're always having that mentality of, like, you know, you want to put in the best effort that you can with everything that you do in life, then you won't have any regrets at the end. So I think that that's a super dope thing that you're living by, and a super dope message to share to the world. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, I was saying, and people just push off, you know, their goals for a later time. But the time is now. There's not going to be a better time in the future. I mean, it's right now. I mean, if there's like a side hustle that you want to accomplish, I mean, I know it's tough balancing your work life, especially if you're not very happy with your work life, and then you got to balance the kids and the wife, and then your social, and your social life. You know, it's hard to have a side hustle, but there's no reason why. You're
good, brother.
There's no reason why you can't allocate like 1 or 2 hours every day to that side hustle, whether it's, you know, building, you know, website design or, you know, painting freaking wood sculptures for people or something, or just doing hair on the side. I mean, there's no reason why you can't try to develop your side hustles while you're living your actual life.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got the time.
Exactly, man. And I think that it is just learning time management is a huge thing.
It's massive.
It's a huge thing.
Tough. It's hard, but you know.
But I think that once you get it going, then it's like, hey, it just kind of becomes second nature.
Yeah, you become the most efficient human being on earth if you can master time management. I mean, I haven't even done it yet, and even some of the most seasoned pros that I know still have trouble with time management.
Yeah. When I think about, like, a lot of people, like, that are on, like, a bigger stature, like the famous people, like maybe like The Rock or like somebody like Kevin Hart, they have like tons of businesses and they're like always busy, but they also like are always able to find time in their day to like do something that they're very passionate about too. And I think that it's like, if they
those guys are Superman.
Yeah, if they can do it, man, then it's like, shoot, you can do it too. You know, it's just like learning and taking like what they're doing a little bit and kind of spinning it off into your own thing. I think that's a huge thing that you have to do.
Yeah, you make a great point. I mean, I'm unbelievably busy, but anyone that I'm working with or someone who wants to ask me a question, I will always get back to you within the day, within 24 hours.
Absolutely.
So I'm as accessible as they come. It's a curse and a blessing, but I'm always on my phone all the time.
You're always on.
Yeah.
You're always clocked in.
Yeah, exactly. So if somebody's got a question, I'm always there to answer it. Absolutely. Or if something happens, like claim-wise, and they're like, I don't know what to do. You know, I'll walk you through it. Don't worry. I got this.
Gotcha.
We got you.
Gotcha.
Always.
Absolutely. Blake, last question
Sure.
I ask everybody on the podcast. So I want you to imagine that I have a copy of the New York Times written right here, okay? It's written from 10 years from now.
Right.
There's a cover page and there's a picture of you, and then there's an article written about you. What is this a picture of, and what is written in this article? It's a loaded question. Let it sit. Let it marinate. All that stuff.
It's a picture of me in one of my dream suits that I can't afford at this particular moment.
What are we talking about? Like a Louis Vuitton suit? What are we talking about?
No, it's actually it's like a checkered suit.
Okay.
But it's not even really about the brand. It's just a nice checkered suit that fits perfectly well. With a tie that's super nice and just something that really just pops out that I wish I had the means to wear every day now. Absolutely. I can only wear one like once a month or so.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. But then the article would say something like, you know, Blake is now one of the top insurance brokers, or not brokers, insurance producers in the nation, if not at least just Iowa.
That's awesome.
So I do think I will get to that point. It's going to take some time, and I'm ready for it all.
Absolutely.
But that's my goal, is to be the top producer in my company first, and then in Iowa, and then above and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you got to start somewhere, too.
Exactly.
Man. Like, you know, you got to start from the bottom and work your way to the top, man.
Everybody starts with baby steps.
Exactly. And it's all just a step.
Yeah.
Just take it as it comes and just run with it.
Can't let anything discourage you.
Absolutely, brother. Blake, where can everybody find you on social media, or if they're, where can everybody contact you if they are interested in getting anything along the lines of insurance? Where can that happen? Plug anything that you got to do right now. That is your chance to do that.
Yeah, sure. So probably the easiest way for people to contact me is via my Facebook, which is just Blake Newton / Country Financial. I'm super easy to Google. I mean, if you Google Blake Newton Country Financial, my website will pop up, plus my LinkedIn, plus my Facebook page, and you might even catch my MySpace page on there.
That's what's up. Shout out to MySpace.
Yeah, exactly. And then my phone number is on there as well. Okay. And, if you guys need that, you can just contact me. Like I said, I'm always available. So those are probably the best channels to contact me at, I would say.
Absolutely. Blake, I appreciate you, brother, for stopping by today.
Always a pleasure.
Just hopping on the podcast and spitting your knowledge about insurance and everything.
It's the least I could do. It's not as scary as people think it is, so I'm here to prove them wrong.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's episode. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I want to give a special thanks to LifeWater for providing water today. Shout out to them.
Yes, it saved me a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely. Best in the game. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's episode. My name is Nick Rhodes. I'm the host of the show. This is Blake Newton over here. And we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.